Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Ramailah yang minta saya buat video part 3 tentang soalan kedua dan jawapan Anwar Ibrahim semasa temu ramah beliau dengan CFR USA tu, atau sekarang ni lebih dikenali dengan temu ramah tanya lain, jawab lain tu. Kalau part 1 ialah tentang Anwar langsung tak jawab soalan, part 2 pula, setelah ditertawakan dan kena perli, Anwar cuma menjawab soalan pertama tu tapi tetap merapu dan hanya jawab separuh saja soalan. Tentang economic action plan tu dia tak jadi jawab. Beliau hanya merapu sedikit sebanyak tentang kerangka Malaysia MADANI dan ada sebut sikitlah pasal AI dan green energy secara kulitnya sajalah. Jadi, dalam part 3 ni, kita saksikan moderator tu pun dah fed up sebab Anwar masih tak jawab soalan. Lalu dia terus tanya soalan kedua lah. Tapi cara moderator tu tanya soalan tu agak melucukan. Pertama sekali, moderator tu kata, okay, you dah sentuh sikit pasal AI dan green energy. Sekarang ni saya nak tanya tentang peranan pelaburan kepada negara anda dan juga peranan pelaburan asing lah kepada negara anda dan juga bagaimana anda mengimbangi hubungan negara anda dengan USA dan China. Moderator tu siap perli dengan mengatakan, saya rasa anda sudah tentu menjangka soalan ni. Dan saya yakin anda tentu ada jawapannya. Perli tu. Secara sinis, moderator tu cakap kat Anwar lah, soalan ni soalan senang dan tolonglah jawab soalan. Kalau tuan-tuan dan puan-puan ada masa, bolehlah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan luangkan masa 4 minit lagi dengar jawapan pada soalan tu yang sebenarnya boleh dijawab dalam masa ringkas saja. Dalam 1 minit saja boleh jawab. Tapi sebab Anwar ni cakap sangkut-sangkut dan tak lancar, sekejap sana, sekejap sini, jawapan yang mudah tu dah jadi 4 minit lebih.
So you talked about green transition, energy transition. The plan also talks about AI and smart tech industrial sectors. Talk to me a little bit about the role of foreign investment that you see in all of this, and particularly how you're going to weigh partnerships with the US, partnerships with China. I'm sure you anticipated this question, and I'm sure you have an answer.
No, Malaysia in the 90s did relatively well because we are a trading nation. We work through FTAs and we were able to attract investments, particularly in the United States. The United States was the leading investor in the country. Even today, when we have improved trade and more investment from China, but the total investments into Malaysia until today is still from the United States. And we have benefited immensely because United States companies, though tough negotiations, but in terms of training, in terms of transfer technology, I mentioned Dell this morning, for example, in terms of research center, other than in California, it is in Malaysia, the largest training and research outfit outside the United States. So we cannot affect change and propel the economy without attracting investments. Of course, by suggesting attracting investments, which means that we have to make the necessary adjustments, the incentives, and the ease of doing business, and facing fierce competition from our neighbors, we need to do surpass that. And I think reasonably, we are rather successful, in many ways more successful, because when Tesla decided to move in, and AWS, Amazon, has come in with huge investments, and even in Europe, Infineon, with 5 billion euros, all are recent decisions which is required for this country. Now, how do you balance this with China? To us, it is not it's not a zero-sum game as far as we see it from the perspective of a small developing country. China happens to be a neighbor, a close neighbor, and the largest investor into Malaysia, and huge trading within Malaysia. United States have been a very loyal, traditional friend. We share many common values, democracy, human rights, and me personally, as I've said this morning, all the administrations from Clinton to Bush, they've been very supportive and outspoken in terms of defending the period of my tribulations. So I, of course, and I'm so many friends, Senate, the Congress, the administration, and of course the various think tanks, and of course CFR. So we need to then utilize this to the benefit of our country now. The exchanges that I've had with China, of course, with Xi Jinping, was quite formal, but with Premier Li Qiang, it's been 3 times since he took over office as Prime Minister, and me. And that means a lot of very serious, frank discussion sessions. That has helped immensely. Kamala Harris was in Jakarta, and during dinner, of course, these questions were raised. And I said, contrary to general perception, we need China and contain as a neighbor, as a trading partner. But the United States is an important traditional ally. Now, how do we manage that? We manage this as a small country. I can't change the world, but I can at least assure them that we will continue with that sort of relationship to the benefit of both. Hopefully, things can subside. The tension is now creating anxiety in the region, and South China Sea is one issue. I raised in front of Li Qiang in a public forum in Jakarta. I said Malaysia has to be firm. This is our territory. Petronas is involved in some of the oil rigs. And he responded. I was certainly pleased with his response. Number one, he said, of course, they have their claims too, but they will not resort to any aggressive action or violence. They will insist on a series of negotiations, which I see is fair. And I think when the response was that in Jakarta, that was certainly helpful. I met him again after that, the last few days in Nanning, and we pursued some of the issues. And let's see from there.
Kesimpulannya ialah, Anwar ni kan, jawapan tu mudah dan straightforward. Tapi beliau nak impress orang Malaysia ni kan, dengan menggunakan ayat yang bombastik beliau, jadi sangkut-sangkut. Dan tak lancar macam orang bercakap dalam kelambu lah. Pada pendapat saya lah kan, Anwar ni hanya boleh bercakap dengan lancar mengenai apa yang dia sudah bersedia nak bercakap. Dan dalam bahasa Melayu lah. Tapi kalau ada ad hoc punya soalan, beliau memang gabra tahap gaban lah. Saya rasa lah kan, dulu Anwar ni masa kecil-kecil, mak dia belikan dia berkotak-kotak kismis minda untuk dia makan, supaya dia cerdik sikit lah. Tapi saya rasa, dia makan kotak aja.